Hi, welcome to my selected bloom update. This one is the pink flowers update. So not all of these are orchids, but they all have some degree of pink in the flower. So yeah, so let's start off on the right. Here I have two divisions of Dendrobium hibiki. I purchased this plant last year. I believe it was in the springtime, and the flowers lasted 3 months then. Much to my surprise, these are keikis that I took off the plant. I had no idea they were going to bloom, but they did. So this Dendrobium hibiki does not get tall. I mean, look how short this thing is, and it already has flowers on it. Now, what I don't understand is why they're faded here. I don't know if it's because they've been open for some time. I think they do that because these are fresher flowers, and these have been open for a really long time. So I would say that these are unscented. I've seen that other people's are fragrant. At least one person's is fragrant, but mine are not. I consider this as the mother plant, and again, much to my surprise, there are flowers. This one was grown really bright, and look how red the stem is. You know, even the leaves can turn red. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but I kind of like the red contrast to the green leaves. It's kind of pretty. So I don't have a lot of flowers, but whatever. It's kind of pretty, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. So next to it is my Papio Hermanii, which I featured in my Lady Slipper update. And here they are. They're fully open now. So I'll just show you with my hand to give you an idea of what the flowers look like. I don't know if you've been to TD Moore's video, but he also has one in bloom as well. And they're slightly different. They look slightly different. This plant was purchased many years ago, at least 4 years ago. Bloomed on 2 spikes last time, and is blooming again on 2 spikes. So anyways, not a difficult plant to grow, and it is definitely due for a repot this year because if I can take it out of the pot. Yeah, there are lots of roots, but I think it's due for a repot. It's been in there for a long time. So yeah. So again, Papio Hermanii. And in the back, continuing with the pink theme, is my Pereira wrappy path, which is Bangkok Sunset Times Pine Rivers. And this is fragrant. This is fragrant. I am proud to say this is fragrant. And the camera's not picking it up, but there is some orange on these back flowers. The inside part of the flower is kind of orangey. Anyways, I think these are some of the loveliest flowers, and on a relatively compact plant. This one actually bloomed for me 2 times last year, and just the summer blooms were fragrant. Somehow something was lost when it rebloomed in November. There was absolutely no fragrance. But I will say that the fragrance gets stronger with light. So if the sun hits it, or if my supplemental lighting hits it, the flowers smell that much stronger. So it's just in a clay pot with some bark on the bottom, and I've just put some moss on top to keep it moist. And for the most part, this plant grows year round. Maybe not as much in winter, but it is kept under supplemental lighting in winter, so it seems happy that way. So I got this 2 years ago, so yeah, this was a good purchase from Tropical Gardens, now known as TG Orchids. Okay, so, and the last pink orchid featured is this long spiked plant. This is my Henny Pow Pow. Yeah, as you can see, there's another bud waiting to open, which is a good thing, bad thing, because usually once the flower opens, once this bud opens, this flower will probably fall off, and they smell wonderful. This flower smells like roses, and it's open almost about the same time as last year, so really happy. This is a primary hybrid between Besseyi and Schlimlii. So the fragrance comes from Schlimlii, and so as you could see, there's a bud there, there's another one there, and there's definitely something there. The second growth on the plant, I haven't looked at it in a while, doesn't have a spike in it, but this might spike later on this year or next spring, I'm not sure. But this particular plant, as you could see, is climbing right out of the pot, so I gotta do something with this after it finishes flowering. I don't think there's any roots, viable roots up here, so I've got to work on that. Not sure how to do that. Not a lot of my other Phragmipediums climb out of a pot like this, so something to be figured out. Yeah, so another project. By the way, I do have the parent Phragmipedium Schlimlii, and that is also in spike, but it's in very, very early spike, so I really don't have much to show you at this point. And when and if it does bloom, it'll be a first-time bloomer for me. Now the rest of the pink blooms have nothing to do with orchids, but I think they're cute as a button. I have a lot of these, let's see, I'll show you the tag, Pingula, moroninsis. Anyways, so this one this is like a mother plant of some sorts. It seems like it's got two plants in here, and I looked under the leaves and there are other plants coming out, so this is a very easy grower. When I got this last August, I didn't have any of these large leaves, and it wasn't catching any fungus gnats. And yes, I have lots of fungus gnats, most unfortunate. But when you grow lots of plants requiring humidity, like Phragmipediums, you just get lots of fungus gnats. And so I've tried a couple of treatments, but I may try a light solution of hydrogen peroxide in the soil and see if in the potting medium to see if that helps. But this particular species has really large flowers. This has been open for a really long time. So, yeah. And I have another one here, which is Pingula Sethos times primiflora. And I like this one. Again, the leaves are somewhat smaller. I don't know if it's catching anything. I don't see any insects on it. So it's to be determined, but what it's lacking of, if it's not catching insects, it has plenty of these little pink flowers. And I have 4. So I think I have more than one plant in here. yeah, anyways, I think these are really, really cute. I think when they get a good strong light, the leaves can become almost purplish, and that's the reason why I got this one. I just thought it was kind of cute. And the last one that I'm featuring is an air plant. I think it's, oops, I'm going to move this guy aside. This is, I think, since I don't have an ID tag on this one, this is Telencia zerographica, I think. And it's more salmon colored in real life. It's showing up kind of really bright pink in the viewfinder on the screen, but this one is actually flowering. I've had this plant a few times. I think I bought it at the Montreal Botanical Gardens, I think. I don't remember. I couldn't find that information in my records. I keep better records on my orchids, but so as you can see, this thing is flowering. It's moving along very, very slowly though, and anyways, it's supposed to be in flower for many, many months. So I can't wait to see what it does, but that's certainly the first part of flowering. They form these huge columns, if you will, and so I don't know if people have tried to grow this. Maybe others have this in their collection, but it's an air plant that's from Mexico, and it's not typically one that requires lots of moisture. So, and in order to care for these, you do not, excuse me, you do not soak them in water because you will rot the end of the plant. So you have to be careful with that. If you're going to soak it in water or spray it, you have to shake it upside down to make sure there's absolutely no water staying inside the crown or any of these, otherwise they just rot. So it is from apparently a drier part of Mexico. So yeah, so Telencia zerographica, that's what I think it is. Could be a cross too, a hybrid, I don't know. I just don't remember, and it's not in my records. So I'm going to back up a bit here. I hope you've enjoyed my pink blooms update. And yeah, I certainly enjoy these, as most of these will actually be here for a good long while. The shortest blooms will be wrappy path. This normally lasts like about a month, and a Pow Pow will last a good 3-4 months in bloom. This will last about a month, 2 months, excuse me, 2 months. Hibiki, 3 months, and these little carnivorous plants to be determined, and this one too to be determined. So hope you've enjoyed this pink flower update, and thank you for watching.